a lot of information in Dead by Daylight, and the game doesn't always do the best job at explaining what everything means. So it makes sense that lots of people get confused sometimes. I asked my community, what are some incorrect preconceptions you had about DBD when you first started playing? And boy, did I get some responses. A lot of them not ones I would have thought of. What I mean by this is, for example, when I first started playing DBD, I genuinely thought that you couldn't unequip Huntress's hatchets. I thought that was a reason why she was so hard to play, because you had to commit to the shot every single time you took out a hatchet. So let's see what you guys had to say, and stick around to the end to see which preconception was the most common. In hindsight, it's kinda obvious which one it's gonna be. I didn't know you could like buy an entire branch from the blood web. I always thought you had to press every time, offering or perks separately. I genuinely want to know how much time they spent doing this. Like, especially if this was before the blood web change, them going through it must have been a part-time job. When I first started playing, I used to think there was fall damage, so I always tried to avoid upper stories in buildings. I genuinely don't think I want to live in a world where DBD has fall damage. Not kidding, for about 100 hours in the game, I didn't know you could break gens. I thought the only way they could regress was with Ruin because I played Hag all the time. Starting now, every time I see a comment of somebody complaining about gen rushing, I'm just gonna assume they don't know that you could kick the gens. I'll go with a classic. I thought I'm absolutely juicing by looping and running away from the killer, but it was Myers, and I had no clue he's not catching me on purpose, but just stalking my to completely wipe out the team later on. I really wish I could have seen their reaction to that, where they're so confident that they're outplaying him, just to see the whole entire match crumble apart for them. For my first few rounds, I was convinced that survivors had different running speeds. No perks. I just, for some reason, was convinced that when I played Claudette, I was faster than Bill. I mean, I think I could guess the reason. I started when the game first came to Xbox. First week of playing, I had no idea what lunging was. When I found out, my world was unlocked. Is this stuff in the tutorial? They really were just walking around for a whole week like... My friend thought it'd be funny to lie to me by saying Wesker couldn't get flashlight blinded because he wears sunglasses. He just has built-in Lightborn. Unfortunately for Wesker, the entity provides survivors with the type of flashlights that could take out your whole entire retinas. To this day, I still don't understand the conditions in order to open the exit gate prematurely as killer. I know you can't open it after closing hatch, but anytime I've tried to, it seems very random in how you could open it. Okay, I actually relate to this a lot because sometimes I get confused at what the requirements are, so I'm just gonna put that right here. One where a lot of people got confused is flashlights. No, they're just not to click at the killer. Lots of people thought that they were used to brighten up dark areas and lighten up the way. You know, like flashlights. That's actually really wholesome. Seeing a new player aim down at the ground everywhere they walk. Okay, here's another one where a lot of people had trouble. Skill checks. I used to not know how to do skill checks, and I thought you did them by simply stopping the repair action entirely. I didn't know you could drop items you were carrying as a survivor. And this next one had the exact opposite problem. I had no idea why people were dropping their items in front of me randomly when I was killer. I kept trying to figure out a way to pick them up or what to do with them. At first, I thought that the killer and survivor ran at the same speed and I was just bad. I thought the game had a more of a sit and survive aspect and pre-drop pallets because I thought it would take longer for killers to break it or something. Please, I'm begging you, do not pre-drop your pallets. Hi, it's me, PNG Elias. We have a lot of fun here, but I think it'd also be really cool if you followed me on Twitch. I stream every single Monday and Friday at 7 PM Central. So come on by if you ever want any in-person DBD tips, or if you want to hang out, or maybe even play DBD with us. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it. I'm excited to see you there. If I hit a survivor right after hooking them and cut off their scream, the others will think they died and will take a while before they see they're still there and go rescue. This wasn't a competition, but I think this wins. I had to reread this twice. This is kind of stupid, but I remember when I first started playing, I thought that hitting someone on the hook made the hook meter go down faster. So I always hit survivors that I hook, not knowing it was toxic until later. Just remember these comments the next time you're on hook and you're getting beat like you owe them money or something. Even if you check their profile afterwards and see that they have 100 hours. In this game, that's practically new, right? I only recently found out that the 5th Fatal Frenzy stab down... What's going on with me? I can't read. Also, it's like 1 a.m. I only recently found out that the 5th Fatal Frenzy stab downs a survivor if they are in the injured state. And I pocket Legion, so I'm surprised that I just found this out. I like to think that this is somebody who's been playing Legion since day one. That's good. That would make this so much funnier. I had thought that stealth killers had no counter to them. You just had to look out for them. I didn't know about undetectable and would think every stealth killer was hacking. Trapper was OP. Yeah, it took me way too long to realize I could disarm the traps. In my first match against Nemesis, I thought if I didn't get rid of the infection, I would turn into a zombie. This was like my first day playing. That would actually make Nemesis way more fun to play. I genuinely believe that I had a hacker in my game because I didn't know that diversion exists. The survivors used diversion and left me questioning my own sanity. Each character doesn't have a different breaking speed. I thought big characters like Trapper and Oni broke things faster than Freddy and Hag. Actually, yeah, you would think so. I actually thought that about Trapper. He's huge. I would never spend more than $20 I paid for the base game. I ended up buying every survivor and a bunch of killers and some cosmetics. If anyone has never spent a single cent in this game, they deserve a medal. And finally, we have the most common misconception that being exposed means that the killer could see your aura. That is just very poor wording on their end, because that's not what most people think of when they hear the word exposed. They think to be revealed, to be discovered. And this is gonna keep on happening until something is done. Yeah, a lot of this stuff can be in like the fine print and whatever, but you know what? I'm an American. I don't have to read if I don't want to. And these kinds of misconceptions are gonna keep on getting people killed, or even worse, teabagged. All of that could be avoided if behavior just treated us like children and simply added more pictures in the game. Thanks for watching.